directors with the Mut Mlô project and working to focusing really mainly on education. What move do you want to start with?
Subject we're talking about today, asking the United Senator to rescue us. Thank to God for blessing the United States government. Thank to United government save us and rescue us before by the hand of the Vietnamese foreigner. We have survived today. Thank to the United States for welcoming us here, and thank to the Senator United States Principal for your solution, for your love and care about us. We have a place for you and the American inside our heart. We were devoted to each other like a loving family. We are here today in representative of the Dega people in the Central Highland. We accepted United States government sponsorship and support. We strongly desire to have the right of self-determination and independence that can lead to restoration of our independence. Again, we are here today asking the United States Senator Richard Burr for help. Please help us, save us, rescue us as you rescued us before. About our weakness in order that the United States government power will live in us. We, the Dega people, would like to have a life and a freedom as the other nations have. In conclusion, I look forward to hear from you. God bless America and the Dega.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't let teachers here find it out.
They would not be happy.
What do you do?
I am here to represent for the Mut Mlô Christian Dega people, and I would like to thank God and to thank the United States. I've been rescued from the jungle in 1992. I am the last group come over here, and I have been in the jungle about 17 years survival. And God bring us to America, got something to help our people back on. But I would like to come to see you at this moment. I would like to ask you to speak to the international Christian to allow them go to our people in the Central Highland, because there are so much difficulty for our people worship. It's not freely, and whoever very close to the church and to the law, and Vietnamese have been stop them and arrest them, and they do something whatever they want to do, and they never stop to be persecution our Christian people here, and they continue to simulate our languages in the church, and every Sunday morning they have been training the pastor to speak Vietnamese native languages to our people, but our people, most people don't speak English well, or no Vietnamese well, and that I'm here today to ask you to speak to international. Maybe they're able to go to the Central Highland to our people only, because Vietnamese they already got their own school, their own church, whatever, but we don't have any. If we build a church that it is said that a temporary worship, that's all. They don't allow our people to get permanent to worship our Lord. And also we need to get international deal and to have our people to get church and school and education for our people there also as well.
Christian persecution is rampant around the world.
Yeah.
It's not just Vietnam, it's not just Asia, and we're delicately trying to address that.
Yeah.
Vietnam has come a long way in a very short period of time. And I think as we open up trade with more of Southeast Asia, it will force the Vietnamese government to become more focused on how they're perceived externally, and it may change their internal practices. That's more generational than it is a fixed timeline. And as you have a generation that are raised in Vietnam who don't look inward, but they look outward, their ability outward is to be able to tap all of the assets that they have inward. And they're fools if they don't reach out and see the Montagnard population as an asset versus as a liability. And, you know, here again, that's my hope. It's not necessarily the practice right now. And I think that's why we make it as accommodating for individuals to come here, especially Montagnard, as we possibly can. But my hope is that at some point in the not too distant future, it's just as rewarding to stay there as long as you can integrate into an economy and a society that doesn't separate based upon religious beliefs or based upon the ethnic makeup of a particular group. Again, if you'd asked me 20 years ago would Vietnam have made the progress that they have, I would have probably told you no. But it can't stop with where they are today, because there are many that are left out of that. And the Montagnard population is included in that, I think. We'll always have aspirations, but this is an area that the United States continues to need to be focused on it. We've been a little bit preoccupied with the Middle East for recent, and that will continue. But Ron, what I'd like to do is hook you up with my staffer who works this literally some portion of every day, Cynthia Ramos, R-A-M-O-U-S.
Thank you.
And she's in Washington. I will have her contact you.
Thank you.
And I'll let you serve as the distribution point for everybody. But Cynthia's at your beck and call. When you have something you need, whether it's in Cambodia with building schools, whether it's in Charlotte, Raleigh, or Greensboro with the Montagnard population here, you use her as your clearinghouse, and we'll bring to the table anything and everything we need to try to address that issue, all the way down to the local.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible.
What other questions of me?
I have a question in the future. If we want the question, if you can use like your position, we can speak on the Senate floor or Congress floor. That's what our dream.
For me to speak on behalf of the Montagnard?
No.
For him?
Yeah, we speak up.
Yeah,
We can
He's
use your
for him,
position and all
for you to speak
You
on
can
behalf,
speak
that's
that,
okay.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Breaking news.
Yeah. You could present the model now.
Yeah,
If you want to hear from us, we can go and speak. We have something. We have this bracelet.
Oh,
This bracelet, like we usually families live forever. Come on.
Kind of like a friendship bracelet, is that right?
Friendship.
Oh.
Forever.
This is the document when we speak to the. And this shirt from Montagnard shirt.
Which
I don't.
you don't
Yeah.
oh, that's very nice. That for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, for you.
All right, all right.
Looks like it fits too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look like fit to me too.
Well, we have a question for you. What can the Montyard community do for you?
Not a thing, over and above what they already do. And that is that when given the opportunity to come to America, they did it. They love this country. In some ways, a lot more than some Americans that were born here. And I think that to see individuals understand what's great about America is a reminder to Americans about how precious what we have is and why they need to protect it. De Tocqueville came to the United States over a century ago, and he said that America was the greatest country in the world. And when he was asked to define what he meant by that, he said the American people have the capacity to give of their time and their resources to anybody that was in need. And my hope is that the Montyards have experienced and will continue to experience exactly what de Tocqueville saw as great about this country. Certainly not everybody anymore, but that's the America we've got to return to. One that opens their arms, welcomes people, provides them whatever they need to get up and running, provides them the opportunity to experience the American dream, which is if you work, you make money. If you work harder, you make more money. Your family prospers, the next generation prospers more, the next generation prospers more, and more importantly, that our children learn about that responsibility. That's what de Tocqueville found about America, and unfortunately it's not passed in our DNA from parents to children. It's only something that our children learn by example. So my advice to, my suggestion to you is what you have experienced the American people do for the Montyard people here. Remember that you have to teach your children and your grandchildren in America, that's what we do. And you do it for the next ones, and you do it for the next ones, whether they sound like you or look like you. Everybody comes here for the same thing. And it's our responsibility to provide the tools to let people succeed and experience the American dream. We used to do it better than we do it today, but I also believe we have raised a generation of kids in America, both, that look like me and look like you, that are going to handle this much better in the future. And it's in large measure because of what you've done, and I like to think a little bit about what I've done. So the only ask I have of you is to keep doing what you're doing, and that's to be a good citizen, to love this country, and I think it's okay to say this, to lobby for your children and your grandchildren. And that means good education. It means where you can send money back to where you came from to help them, you do it. And Ron, I tell you this, don't be shy to go out in Charlotte and ask people to help.
Yeah.
In the last few years, I've become an incredibly good beggar.
You've got a good project to beg for. And I would tell you,
It resonates with people.
well, and I would tell you, look at it just a little bit different. You're giving them the opportunity to invest great. And don't present it to them as a good charitable act. sell it to them as a wonderful investment in the future of their kids and their grandchildren, because it truly is.
Good, good. And everything we're doing is to help the Montagnard people help themselves. In no way is any of it a charity.
Well,
And that's how it works.
I mean, out of all the groups that have migrated to the United States, you have never heard anybody say that the Montagnards wouldn't work for everything they were getting. That's not the case with every group.
That's true.
And I'm delighted that you came to see me, and I will assure you that we'll work on USAID and we'll identify some additional programs that you can hopefully contact, and we will help you contact them.
Thank you.
And
I'll
follow
be
up with
grateful to hear from Cynthia. That's super.
I'll check with the state folks and the federal folks to see if we're tracking in any way, shape, or form the educational success of the population, or if we can. And I will have my staff do some homework on the Central Highlands and what's going on currently over there to see if there are some things that the State Department can push to see if they are treated differently.
That's good. This the question I have to ask you about the international Christian is able to enter to the Central Highland to our people there might be very helpful, because like when they got church, they got school, that our native language still alive, and our people still safety too when the American be there or other country to be there. That only way to save our people. Then Vietnam cannot ban no more because business there, Christian there, and hoping there, they're able to be changed the country very, very soon.
There may be a way for us to connect this to a human rights issue that may or may not be connected today. If it's connected, then there's a way to enforce it. If it's not connected, there's a way to connect it. Okay?
Only one thing I would like to ask you about our people in the Cambodia refugee camp there, and some of them in the Thailand also. They are very not for sure, because most people in camp and most people during time like they just arrive there, so might be they're not safe for their life.
Okay.
But I would like you to help out somehow, to speak out somehow, to able to keep them safe.
And what I'll do is I'll work with Cynthia. I'll give a floor speech on the United States Senate on the Montagnard population,
Awesome.
both here
Yeah.
and over there.
Awesome, sir.
And go ahead and get that in the record.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Senator. God bless.
And thank you for everything. Can we impose on you one more time and take some photos? Would that be all right?
I will comment one. We would like to speak to the Cambodian government and the Thailand government. All people there need to protect them because UNHCR and 100 Vietnamese and one Cambodian police went to place there. They threatened them. They said they will stop the food supply and will force to return to Vietnam. So we ask you can speak out. Please do not return
To save them.
to Vietnam. There are some people have been repatriated. They've been beat up and tortured.
Got it. Good.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, do you mind?
You want me to wear my shirt or my jacket?
Even their extra large doesn't fit.
I hope you feel that.
It's going to be close.
You need help?
Yeah, pull that down.
Maybe no.
How's that? That's perfect.
It just it's too tight.
Oh, that's okay.
Next time we make bigger for you. This year.
We didn't know what size.
Okay. You want to take? You want me to take?
He take
Gần.
first.
Bạn là
Oh,
And then Aaron,
I-
can I
Never.
get you in this, please?
it's
sir?
like a player.
nhờ về coi.
Okay. Have fun with it.
Hoàn thơ rồi. Hoàn thơ. Hoàn thơ rồi. Hey, nào vậy?
Aaron, please.
Sure.
Oh, you can email me, please?
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
Hoàn thơ rồi. Hoàn thơ. Đấy.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
But I hope I give you the answer.
Yes, sir. Here, Ron, I'll let you guys go out this way. I won't make you go back through the kitchen.
It's awesome.